Hey there, lovely viewers. Welcome back to our channel. I've got something truly remarkable for you today that's going to take you on a journey through history and shed light on a pivotal moment in Australia's past. But here's the twist. Stay tuned because later in the video, I've got a surprising segment that you won't want to miss. So, let's dive right into it. Alright, folks, let's talk about the Mabo Decision, a groundbreaking event that transformed the landscape of Indigenous land rights recognition in Australia. It's the early 1990s, and for centuries, the Indigenous peoples have had a deep, spiritual connection to the land, their country. But their rights were often overlooked and denied by the Australian legal system. Until the Mabo Decision of 1992, it's like a thunderclap in the legal realm. Eddie Koiki Mabo, a Torres Strait Islander, along with a group of fellow Indigenous Australians, challenged the existing land tenure system. They argued that their traditional rights to land were never extinguished by British colonization. Can you believe it? This case marked a pivotal shift in the way land rights were perceived and recognized in Australia. Now, folks, remember I mentioned a surprise? Well, get ready for this. I actually had the incredible opportunity to chat with a direct descendant of Eddie Mabo himself. That's right, you'll hear firsthand about the family's perspective, the emotions, and the impact of this historic decision. But, for now, let's get back to the fascinating story. The Mabo Decision wasn't just a legal triumph, it was a triumph of justice and recognition. The High Court's ruling acknowledged the existence of native title, the rights Indigenous Australians have over their traditional lands. This was a monumental step towards addressing historical injustices and fostering reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians. Following the Mabo Decision, the Australian government took action to formalise the recognition of native title through the Native Title Act of 1993. This act established a framework for Indigenous land rights, ensuring that the rights and interests of Indigenous communities were protected and respected. Of course, the journey didn't end there. While the Mabo Decision was a significant milestone, there have been ongoing challenges in implementing and upholding Indigenous land rights. Balancing the interests of Indigenous communities, mining companies, and other stakeholders has often been complex and contentious. What's truly inspiring is how the Mabo Decision has sparked a renewed appreciation for the rich cultural heritage of Australia's Indigenous peoples. This ruling has allowed for the preservation of sacred sites, traditions, and stories that might have otherwise been lost over time. So, there you have it, folks, the Mabo Decision, a landmark moment in Australia's history that redefined land rights and opened up new avenues for understanding and cooperation. As we move forward, it's crucial to continue acknowledging the significance of this decision and working towards a more just and inclusive society. And now, as promised, let's dive into that surprise segment I mentioned earlier. I had the privilege of speaking with a direct descendant of Eddie Mabo himself. He shared some incredibly personal insights into the impact of the Mabo Decision on their family, their community, and their connection to the land. You won't want to miss this unique perspective, so let's jump right into the conversation. He was a strong and determined man who believed in the rights of Indigenous people. His fight wasn't just a legal battle, it was deeply personal and rooted in our cultural heritage. The Mabo Decision had a profound impact on our family. It was a moment of validation, of recognition that our ancestral ties to the land were finally acknowledged. It's like a door of opportunity opened for us, allowing us to connect more deeply with our roots and share our culture with others. I remember hearing stories from my grandparents about the uncertainty and anticipation that surrounded the case. There was a mix of hope and anxiety, but my great-grandfather was unwavering in his belief that justice would prevail. He saw this as a chance to create a better future for Indigenous generations to come. The Mabo Decision was a turning point in the way non-Indigenous Australians perceive us. It challenged misconceptions and opened up conversations about our rich cultural heritage and the importance of protecting our land. While there's still work to be done, the decision created a bridge towards understanding and unity. I want people to remember that the Mabo Decision was a victory for justice and equality. It's a reminder that every step forward matters, no matter how challenging the path may be. As we celebrate this landmark decision, let's continue to honor the resilience and strength of Indigenous communities and work together towards a more inclusive and harmonious future. Thank you for having me. It's important that we keep these conversations alive and continue to learn from our history. Wow, what an enlightening conversation. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the Mabo Decision and its profound significance for Indigenous land rights in Australia. Remember, understanding our history is the key to a brighter future. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.